Hi guys, I'm Jessica and welcome to Audacity. Yay! I am Jessica Wise and I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Audacity Magazine and Events. That's audacitymagazine.org. And I am here today with Latoya Boyce, owner of LeRan LeRusha Boutique up in Jersey. We are super excited that she was able to take some time out to come and kick it with us today. Welcome, Latoya.
Much appreciation for having me. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, guys, you're going to absolutely love her and love some of the pieces that she offers. So much so that she is going to be sponsoring the Audacity 3rd anniversary event, which is going to be held in person on June 4th. Get your tickets. It's going to be held right here in downtown Atlanta. And Latoya has been so kind as to sponsor a few items for our nonprofit raffle, as well as our swag bags. So super excited. I just bought my own blazer from LeRan LeRusha Boutique. So you might see it at the event. So Latoya, tell us a little bit about what inspired your brand. Like, how did you get into fashion of all things?
So I got into fashion, have always been my thing. I've always loved to dress up as a child. I've always loved things that were glittery, fringe, colorful. So that was my beginning journey to fashion.
Nice. So one thing I really like about your pieces is that they're super unique, excuse me. They're bold, they have different like patterns and designs, but the same, like they look super retro, but also super contemporary. Like I was just telling my friend earlier, I bought the Who Gon' Check Me Boo blazer. And what I really love about it is that like it kind of reminds me of how my mom dressed back in the 80s, like very like in living color, but at the same time still has that like current 2020s flair that's like a great accent for any, jumpsuit, jeans, whatever. Like it's one of those things that like it's an accent piece, but at the same time it goes with everything. So what made you want to do these unique accent style pieces and make that the centerpiece of your brand?
So awesome. I believe in things that are diversified, right? So why not have an item that you can wear 50 different ways, and it's budget friendly. So when I pick my pieces, I let them speak to me. I look for things that are unique and that no other person that is selling, like other vendors or boutiques, will possibly have. So that's how I go about picking my pieces.
I love it. And you pick some good pieces, y'all. I'm telling you, go on her website because it has, first of all, she gets something new almost every week, which I love because that means she's got the freshest pick. She's got like some of the newest, most interesting items. So definitely give a shout out to her website and on her Instagram. We'll make sure we put everything in the caption below. But let's keep it going. So what inspired the creation of the boutique to begin with and the name? Because I think LeRan LeRusha is super unique as a name for a boutique. And I think a lot of times when it comes to the name of a store, people tend to like fall kind of generic. Like it's a little bit, especially nowadays, because everybody wants to like own a boutique or they want to own like, a coffee shop or, one of these like, small businesses that quote unquote everyone does. So what inspired the name for your boutique?
So it kind of just popped into my spirit one day. I was playing around with different words. What caught my attention with these two names, it sounds unique and it sounds kind of expensive, at least to me. I kind of like the way it sounds. So that's what sold me on it. So that's how I came up with LeRan LeRusha Boutique.
I love it. And it's unique. Like you're gonna remember the name for sure because I had never heard it before. And so so backstory, guys. Me and Latoya started following each other on Instagram when we had our first virtual pop-up shop. And Latoya followed me, she saw our ad, and we've just continued to be cool ever since then and finding new ways to work together. So that was the first thing that kind of like tipped me when I saw that she had followed us and everything. I was like, LeRan LeRusha, what's that? So it's definitely a solid marketing strategy, and it definitely worked because here we are. So Tell me a little bit more about, and I hate when people ask these questions, but as a millennial, I'm always interested in things like this because not only are you a 90s millennial like myself, but you're also a mama. And of course, that's always first thing folks ask is, how do you balance being a wife and mom or a mom and an entrepreneur and blah, blah, blah. But that being said, I do wonder, I'll be honest, I do wonder, what is it like being a millennial during some very strange times right now with this economy and everything, a mother and a business owner? And how do you find time to be yourself?
So oftentimes we put mommy first. When you're a parent, you always think, oh, mommy. So it's all about having balance and having a strong support system. I get great support from my husband and my family, my mother, my dad, my sisters. I get a lot of support. So that definitely helps out when I have to do an event or if I have some type of business engagement, I'm able to, like, balance that out. But if I didn't have that support system in place, it would have been difficult, maneuvering and prioritizing my task.
What advice would you give to someone who maybe isn't as fortunate to have that kind of support system, but really wants to build their business and build a better them?
I would say find some women that are encouraging, empowering, and some type of network where you're able to connect with other moms that that you'll be able to, like, give, that they'll be able to give advice to you to maintain and to
Yeah,
get through it.
yeah, for sure. It's like if you don't have a support system, you gotta go find one, right? You gotta go build one, unfortunately. But that's really great advice because I know we got a lot of single moms out there. We definitely have a lot of, young millennials who, maybe don't necessarily have like the financial backing or, maybe just like the lack of education as to how they can start growing a brand. So that's super important.
And another thing too is nowadays you're able to incorporate your kids into your businesses as
Yes.
well. So I would definitely encourage them to find a way to incorporate their children into their business. For instance, I utilize my daughter. She is 6 years old. She helps me with, she gives me attitude when she does it, but I'm like, I have to, give her, a talk like, this is not just for me, it's for you. And you're going to learn how to do this, encouragement, and to instill that entrepreneur skills in her now. She might not understand it now, but once she gets a little bit bigger, it's gonna click, like, I
Mm.
used to do this for my mom. Maybe I want a business, or just that type of encouragement. So I would definitely encourage them to find a business or some tasks that their children will be able to help them with, because it does help out. My daughter helps make the tissue paper that I pack the packages with.
Oh,
So
that's,
I'll give her that task to do.
and she did a great job with the tissue paper, y'all. Trust me, she got some beautiful tissue paper. Okay, it is very well wrapped. Baby did. She had a little sticker on and everything. She did great.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll
let's,
let her know. I'll let her know she did a great job.
yes, please do. But let's talk about that because one thing that I really love about the modern work society and modern entrepreneurship is that moms can be moms in the open. It's not one of those weird things where it's like, oh, I'm sorry, like my kid's crying in the background. Like it's a 3-month-old, it's gonna cry. Like the baby's
Mm-hmm.
gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love this notion that moms, especially millennial moms, because that's our generation now that's becoming mothers, is millennials and Gen Z women are becoming mothers, where it's not one of those things where like we have to like apologize for our kids, like, crying in the background on a Zoom, or we don't have to, not tell people that we have children in order to be able to make sure that we continue to do projects. And of course, we still have this huge problem where moms are discriminated against, or the lack of maternity leave policies and so on and so on, because it's still a big problem. But what I love about it right now for entrepreneurs is that it's almost like your brand is better when you can include your kids, because it shows your followers and your consumers that you're a real person with, you know, a life outside of, you know, whatever you present on camera on your website. How do you feel about that though? Because I'm not a mother, but you are. Do you find that there's more inspiration when you're able to include your children in your branding?
Absolutely. For me, I'm a pretty private person, so I do not put my children in the camera per
Mm,
se, but I use them behind the scenes,
that's
if
great.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Um, just kind of for like protection reasons.
Hmm.
Um, because like you said, we are living in some strange times. So that's how I incorporate them behind the scenes. But I do think that when parents do incorporate their children in front of the camera, it drives more of like a, you know, an audience that people really are intrigued to know that, you know,
Yeah.
they are human. This is a real person and they're able to do these things with a kid, or it might motivate someone that think that they can't do it because they have kids or
Yeah.
other obligations. It just brings a sense of real life.
And I would imagine it would make things easier for the business owner, the mom who's a business owner, to be able to operate, because instead of worrying that, you know, oh God, I hope my kid don't jump off the couch while I'm trying to work, the kid is
Mhm.
sitting next to you working with you. So
Absolutely.
I can imagine that also makes like the management of kids a little bit easier.
And not only that, you're teaching them and they're learning at the same time. They're
Mhm.
learning things that they won't necessarily learn in school.
That's
So I love that. I love that component of it.
For sure. And like, you know, that there's so many things about business that I wish I had learned before I started one. You know, I'm one of the classic stories of somebody who, like, even though I worked around high power business owners, and I mean, like, I was brushing shoulders with like CEO of Popeyes at one point. Like I've definitely worked around a lot of like high power people, but as far as the operations would go, there are certain things that like people just cannot teach you to remember and think about. So like, and I know you know about this, inventory
Mhm.
is one of the things that I really wish I had learned about. And you're the owner of a boutique, so you have way more inventory to deal with than I do. Whereas, you know, obviously, like we have Audacity merch, get the t-shirt.
Mhm.
Obviously, we have Audacity merch, but we only have maybe like, you know, 5 or 6 items at a time usually. And
Mhm.
we manage all of our inventory in-house. For business owners who have more of a high inventory driven business, what advice do you have for people who are like considering like, okay, I need new inventory, but when's the right time to buy that? And like pricing and managing and so on. Like, what is your inventory expertise that you'd like to share?
So I basically learned off of trial and error with my business. One advice is don't invest in 100 items and you haven't seen the quality, or you don't know, you know, if it's going to sell.
Mm,
I would suggest you get like samples, or you do like a test run to different people to see, you know, the audience that you would attract before investing thousands of dollars on something that might have the potential to sit. So that would be my advice on the inventory component. And also have not going into depth trying to keep up with different trends and fads. You know, kind of pave your own way and stick to what you know.
that is
If
smart
Yeah,
for sure. Because
because oftentimes
yeah,
we want to jump out the window and do like all of these different things,
yep,
and it might not work. And then you've done invested countless of hours, which you can never get back, or thousands of dollars,
right.
and it's just there.
Something that doesn't sell. Yeah. So that being said, because I know you mentioned in your strategy for selecting pieces for the boutique and everything, you choose what
Mhm.
speaks to you the most. So when you're looking to test new inventory, or when you're looking, like you said, when you're looking for something to speak to you, are you choosing those items by hand? Are you checking like online reviews of the product? What's your process for selecting new inventory?
So I do various tasks. I order at least one item, feel it, see how it looks before I go and jump out the window and invest a lot into a lot of the items. I also might ask like my siblings that are, you know, they like fashion and stuff like that, their opinions, but I don't only base it off their opinions. I kind of do like a test run with certain individuals that I'm close to, like, oh, what do you think about this? Or, you know, just like a little, I have like a little team that I work with,
Yeah.
to my test team per se. So
I love it. And it's so important. Like with our, at least for Audacity, we have what's called the Audacity team, which is our paid subscriber membership. But before we release like new merch or anything like that, we usually check with the group to be like, hey, like, you know, here's what we're thinking about doing. Is it something that'd be interesting? Would you buy this? How much would you buy this for? What kind of quality are you looking for? So I always find it interesting when I talk to other business owners and realize that a lot of the things that we do are not that different, even though we have different types of brands. Like I have a magazine and you have a boutique, but we still have the same like pain points and same, you know, like needs to test products and things of that nature. So it's always so fun because it just shows that like, you know, there's always like somebody that you can talk to or network with, or who you can provide support, knowledge share. I love it. I love it. And that's what Audacity is for. It's one of the things I love the most about creating this business and everything, is that we can bring in folks like you to say, hey, like you have a great idea. You have a great idea. Here's some of the ways that you can make it come to fruition. And here's how you can make it yours. So I totally appreciate you being here. And I'm definitely excited for everybody to see this interview. So, oh goodness, I feel like I have one more question for you before I let you go on with the rest of your day. Uh-oh, we got the little running out of time button. I don't know if that's going to show up in the recording or not, but we keep it real here at Audacity. I'm not spending extra money on the 1 hour. I just don't do it. Okay. We are definitely keeping it real here. Okay, Latoya, I have one more question. Where do you see your business going within the next 1 to 5 years? Where do you want LeRan LeRusha Boutique to flourish or continue?
So, sure. This is basically the foundation. I'm already starting to pre-plan different avenues that I will be transitioning my business into. So I mentioned earlier that I will be rolling something out within the next few months. So stay tuned for that announcement. I don't want to speak about it yet until it's finalized. But yeah. It's definitely, it doesn't end here. I plan on expanding into different territories. So this is just the foundation.
Oh, that's super exciting. And what a strong foundation you have, because I honestly thought you've been doing this for like a while. Like I was like, oh, this is her day job, honey. Like she is doing it. Like, so that's exciting to see that there's going to be more coming. And we're definitely excited to keep shopping with you, keep working with you. Guys, if you are interested, and I know you are, in shopping with LeRan LeRusha Boutique, definitely make sure you click the tag. We have her tagged here, as well as her website here in the comments. Where else can they find you, Latoya? Like, how can we support you?
Sure. I'm on TikTok at LeRan, LeRan LeRusha on TikTok, www.leran.info. And yeah, those are the ways that you can find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Latoya. It was amazing having you. And thank you again for sponsoring the Audacity anniversary event. Again, guys, it's going to be on June 4th. You don't want to miss it. She is throwing in a little prize for some of our lucky raffle ticket buyers and everything, which is going to go to a great nonprofit that we have yet to announce, but stay tuned and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.